That's it.
that does bring a little warm glow to my heart.
Mum, get off the phone. I'm using the internet.
Did anyone else used to hum along with it?
No.
Just me then, yeah?
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Okay.
It is such a nostalgic sound, though. It really is a nostalgic sound.
God.
We are back, people. Shonky Lab is back on the Mixler, which is at mixler.com/RogueTwoMedia. We have a chat room, which is bristling with people, shall I say.
Wow.
There's a lot of people there. I am joined by Lee Medcalf.
Hello again.
Dave Probert.
Hello.
And Andy has somehow wangled his way on here as well.
You're never getting rid of me.
And we're still talking about before the internet. We are also still giving away buildings, so if you want a building, let us know. Either type it in the chat room or phone us up. That is fine. And foods, what foods do you heat up or warm up? It's like a subtopic, but
all of them.
Before the internet again. Let's go back to that.
Well, I was going to say there have been some building requests in our absence.
Oh, have there?
Thomas McCamberley would like the West Edmonton Mall of America.
It is yours, sir.
And Scott Mather was asking if they could have fictional buildings, in which case he'd like the Unseen University Tower of Art.
No, they have to be real, because then we can go to the buildings and say that we own this building and you can let me in.
And Jack Mulcahy would like St. Pancras Station.
It is his.
I can't help but feel that when I turn up in Florida to go and claim the vehicle assembly building for my own, NASA might have issue with this.
Mm.
I'm assuming you've cleared this with everyone, yeah, Elton?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Of course. No, it doesn't even need clearance. That is now your building. You can go up to it, knock on it whenever you want.
Mm.
That is yours.
Martin Thompson would like your house, Elton.
It's yours.
He's found the loophole.
It's all gone wrong. Yeah, well, it's yours, Martin.
Yeah.
Move it anytime you like.
Turn up tomorrow, it's fine, I'll hand over the keys.
Well, and the mortgage.
Yeah, just tell the kids they got to pack up.
Oh no, they come as part of the house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Now in your face. Who wants them?
Who's the loser now?
Yeah. I'm free.
Oh dear. Right.
So nobody got nostalgia. Nobody hummed along with that noise, the internet loading noise. I guess I should ask, how did we all find the internet?
Ooh, well, I mean, for me, I found the internet because I became the IT manager of the weird essential oils firm I was working at. And basically, we got a 486 computer to handle all our lab tech gear. And then I don't quite know how I managed to do it. I actually managed to convince them that we needed the internet and got them to pay for a Pipex account. And it was £14 a month. And I got them to do it and buy it. And then I had this big 90 megahertz server with a full 64 meg of RAM, and this little Pipex 14 4K modem and Pipex, and that's how.
Wow. On a 486, that must have been a beast of a computer with 64 meg of RAM. Would have been. Whoa.
It was the size. It was the size of a bus. Actually, it was the size of the land of the Jawas. Now I think about it, but it was. It was also full of porn. Ha ha! Circle of life. Yeah. Yeah, well, it actually only had like 16 colours, so it wasn't very good porn if we did manage to find any. But yeah,
porn is porn. I'm afraid that is the rule. Porn is just porn.
Yeah. Oh, and Lucky Minty would like to have the Flatiron Building in New York.
Right, I'm gonna have to Google that because I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I found the internet. I came in at the ground floor, so to speak. Back in, I think it was 1992 or 1993, something like that. It was really, really early, but it was literally right on top. I'll find out what date it was because I knew what was playing as music. No, Bad was number one album, Michael Jackson.
Sarah, yes, that building is yours. Congratulations.
Yeah, hold on. Bad. When did Bad come out?
Oh, I'm gonna guess 89.
Yeah, you're gonna reckon 89. That's really early then.
That wouldn't be a 486 then.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely a 486. They played
486 is what early 90s. # computer geek.
Yeah. 1987 Bad was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So that would be right at the top, right at the beginning of the 486s, I reckon.
Dave, how about you? How did you come along on the internet? How did you find it?
I think the first time I kind of used it properly was at my first girlfriend's house because she their family just got it because she was sort of like studying at college and stuff, and so it was decided that would be a useful thing to get. And I sort of I think it was when I first started using it on a regular basis. So there's
what did you used to dial up though?
Actually, no. Tell a lie. I think actually, now I think about it, my dad was a big user. Yeah. So just before that, in fact, oh god, no! I just had a horrible acid flashback of seeing my dad using a chat room, a video chat room where there was all sorts of bizarre things going on, and there was just there's people doing obscene things with webcams, and then just in the bottom left-hand corner, there's just my dad's smiling face, just giggling at it all. It's like, what the fuck is all this? It was just, but yeah.
And
one of many bizarre experiences my dad introduced me to, but I won't go into it now.
Okay, yeah. Up next on Shonky Lab, therapy, parents. Just to correct my timeline, 1989 was the 486, thanks to Mr. Plastides in the chat room. So it would have been 1989.
He's a proper twat, that bloke.
Yeah. Dandy arsehole, just picking holes in 2 years. God dear. Just my poor old memory.
Well, I think I discovered it. It was through Amanda and her family. And her dad heard of this new thing called the Internet.
Yeah.
I think he was on AOL at the time. With the 3 little blocks where you had the AOL written on the screen, and then it was 3 circles on the loading screen, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then it was just dial up. There was no broadband at that time. That hadn't been invented or discovered. And so I used to spend a little time in chat rooms, in American chat rooms, American football chat rooms. I was a troll. I was just, so why'd you pick the ball up? Why'd you do that? And
more things change, the more they stay the same, eh?
It's very true, yeah. It's very true. It was just easy. Why don't you call it carry ball? It's not football. You don't.
Sand egg.
I was such a dick. I still am a dick. But there we go. But then we went round to Amanda's aunt and uncle's, and they had broadband when that first kicked off. And they put their laptop in front of me, and they showed me Google Earth, I think it was. And I was hooked. I was sat there going, oh, I want this. But I resisted for such a long time, up until maybe 10 years ago. When we moved house, moved up to where we live now, that was the point where we ended up getting the internet. And believe it or not, I wasn't even that bothered. I didn't even want it. I think I knew it would be heroin. And I was, no, I don't want that.
What, it was the internet or heroin?
Well, it turned into my heroin.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Needing to be on it all the time. And alas, here I am.
Yep.
But that's how I discovered it. But Andy, I suppose it was already there for you.
No, not quite. Almost, but not quite. I got our first kind of proper PC was, I think, in 94-ish. I remember it was Windows 3.11.
Nice.
and then obviously Windows 95 came out shortly after that. So I had the joy of getting Windows 95 installed. I always remember we had the Wildlife Pack, which was like desktop wallpaper and different sounds, because that was a big deal. We had the Microsoft Network installation CD, because I remember I had a really terrible video to install the bloody thing. And yeah, it was my crack, much like it was your heroin, because it's dial-up. You have to pay for the phone call. No one could call our house throughout the 90s at all, ever, because it was always on the internet. And then I realised that the danger of paying your phone bill quarterly. Yeah, we had prices jumped from maybe 20 quid a quarter to 480 odd.
Ouch.
I wasn't popular.
No. Oh dear. Just on the chat, Scott Matheson would like the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Oh, nice choice. Yes, that is yours.
Yeah.
Good luck getting over there, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, good luck getting it back in the packet. And Martin Thompson wanted to know if he could have the Toblerone from Gaza instead. as a settle. Yeah, anyway. I don't know. Really odd. Right. What was I going to say? There was something... Oh.
Go on, you can do it.
No, it was halfway through the conversation and then my brain's just gone. There was... I always remember with the dial-up, the scariest thing with the dial-up was obviously if you spent too long online dialing down. And I actually... I always remember getting Half-Life 2, rather, on my PC at home and having to download it all on a 14.4 modem. And I always remember it going, it's 1.1 gig. It's going to take me 17 hours to download this thing. And I remember actually setting Steam up and having it download and actually going off to work and then coming back, and it was like 10% or something like that because like the phone had gone down or something stupid.
Oh, that's painful.
I mean, yeah, man alive. And I always remember sitting there doing this thing with Darren and Jess, because I used to have 3 PCs in one room. We used to LAN game, and it was I was literally sitting there going, this Steam will never take off, because like there is no way people is going to sit there on their phones, sit there on the phone, waiting for 17 hours for something to download. And we're all sitting there like, sage, wise old men going, yes, this Steam, it's a complete shambles. No one's ever going to use that. And now all of my games are on Steam.
Exactly. Now you're living on there.
Exactly. 90% of my computer sits on a Steam machine somewhere.
Yeah.
I can tell you the first PC game I got.
Go on.
Star Trek: A Final Unity.
Oh, God.
I don't even know what that is.
You
classic.
You missed nothing.
I just want to very briefly finish off on the music side of things, because music has blown up on the internet since the discovery, nay, the creation of iTunes and other platforms like it. But I used to go down to the library and then copied their CDs.
Yeah.
Did anyone else used to do that?
No.
I'd forgotten libraries were a thing. I used to spend so much time there.
Yeah. Well, no one's going to remember them if this government gets on its way.
That's true.
A little bit of politics.
Yeah, well, with the invention of the internet and like iTunes and stuff like that, nobody... See, when was the last time you guys bought CDs? Or cassettes or anything like that? Because nobody I know... Well, apart from me and Amanda, we're the only ones who really like a hard copy of the music, just in case anything goes completely tits up. And it's always nice to sit down and listen to and even work on an album. Nobody really works on an album anymore, because you used to go out and buy your CD, you used to put it in, and if you found out that it was a bit duff, you'd still try and work on it, because you'd pay 10, 11, 12 quid to get that CD. And so you'd work on it. And them days are gone now. It's all just instant gratification of, I want that song, I want that song, I want that song, I want that song.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say my bit and get out of the way so that everyone else can jump in. But it's like, for me, I buy CDs of soundtracks and scores. So my last one I bought was actually The Force Awakens, and then for Christmas I got the Indiana Jones CD box set. So I've actually got all of the soundtracks for all of the films in a box set, in a nice little leather box, which is lovely. So I like that. I like CDs. I do. I like the fact that you can just take them out and just stick them in anything and away you go. Whenever I want to share a piece of music on my iPod or my iPhone, it's like you have to do 7 incantations, sacrifice a bat, and then sort of like wait for 7 hours for the ghost of Steve Jobs to come and bless your machine 4 times with his socks. I mean, it's just irritating. But yeah, all of my music I used to buy CDs, and I still to this day, even though I do MP3s obviously, but it's just to this day I will always prefer to get a CD first.
Good.
What about you, Dave?
Well, these days I do tend to do MP3s on my phone I do like Amazon Music on my phone, because I tend to get things on a whim. Because I'll suddenly remember a bit of music or something, and they'll go, "Oh, actually, let's see if that's available." And I'll pick up things in a sale that's on. And I get some cheesy crap off that. I think the last thing I bought off there was like the greatest hits of Billy Joel for like £3.
Yeah,
I like Billy Joel. But I can't remember the last time I bought a CD. I mean, I originally had, like, my first MP3 player was like an iPod. And I stuck with it for ages, because that was how I discovered podcasts and stuff like that.
Like a first gen one?
I think it was like one of the first, not nanos, they're the first little ones, not the full size, but when they were the size of like a phone is now. But like... But yeah, I bought it secondhand for that. I was working in a pub at the time, and there was a guy who was upgrading to get a new one, so I basically bought his old one off him. But then it was okay until I needed to change computers, because I had a laptop, and then I ended up buying like a desktop.
Nice.
And like transferring everything over was such a faff and a massive pain in the ass that eventually, like, I ended up sort of like downloading everything again. And then when I ended up having to change the drive over, and the prospect of having to do that all over again, I just went, "Oh, fuck this," and just started just buying sort of like downloads from other places, because those were downloads that didn't require a proprietary system in order to access them. I could just have like the MP3 just in a file on my computer, and I could put it onto whatever I wanted to listen to it on.
Yeah.
So by that point, it was just sort of like, fuck Apple.
I think that's why I still like the CDs. So I got a backup of it, just in case.
I mean, with the music, the one thing I will say, and maybe this leads back to the video games thing, but the one thing I will say that I have discovered thanks to the internet is music that I would not have necessarily found had it not been around. Just like the sort of whole thing for people doing streamcasts and stuff like that, and making their own radio stations effectively.
Yeah.
And my favourite, which is still my favourite to this day, and is still something that I sit there, and even now I know there's whole bunches of people who just go around listening to the guy going tra-la-la-la-la all the time, and I still feel embarrassed about saying my one, and there's a radio station called Slay Radio, and there's professional musicians doing actual remixes of Commodore 64 music.
Nice.
And there's a whole radio station dedicated to it, and you can actually do requests, and you get DJs on it and everything. And it's like, I literally, I found it by accident, and then I sort of I'm like, oh my god, I'm both in the future and still sitting in 1982 listening to the Ocean Loader, but now being done in a Jean-Michel Jarre style, and it's just like, that's fucking amazing.
I can dig that, yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so slayradio.org I think it is, and they've got, you can actually queue up a playlist as well, so you can actually listen to it, and it sort of automatically picks from one of the 18,000 remixes it's got on its books. Or you can do like a jukebox, and you can queue up like 14 of them in a row. And it's like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, I can listen to a remix of, I don't know, was it Speedball 2? Or Thrust, or Mission Impossible, or, Commando. And it's done.
To get your fill of that sort of genre of music, then, did you ever record the music off of your telly that you used to play? Because I used to record the Lemmings music.
Yeah,
I loved that Lemmings track, and so I'd sit there, I'd open up the game, I'd put the two blockers, and then just let my Lemmings walk in between the two blockers, and then just record the song.
That's right. Yeah, I mean that was literally it. I mean, especially with something like the 64 or the Spectrum, where you could actually run the audio back through the tape deck. You could actually record straight off the machine. Oh, nice! And it was like, that was awesome, and that led to one of the best April Fools that me and Jess performed on Darren, which was he was the last person to adopt a Commodore 64. And he had the Spectrum, and he read in this magazine there was this game, and it had this fantastic soundtrack for a Spectrum, obviously. And so what we did was we said, "Oh, we've got a pirate copy of this. We'll let you listen to the music." And what we did was we went around my house and recorded the theme tune to Thrust by Rob Hubbard, which is this fantastic sort of multi-track sort of, and we recorded it onto tape, and we brought it around to Darren, and we went, "Look, this is Starquake on the Spectrum," and naturally, he was like a man re-energized. He was like, see, I told you the Spectrum could make music like this. We're both like, and he ran out, and I'm pretty sure he bought it, and then a week later he was like, "You fuckers," because it was like, because by Spectrum terms it was kind of going, yeah, and that, yeah, I've always loved video game music, and I've always loved the 64, and just memories like that have a very powerful emotional effect on me. Yeah, just ask Darren about Starquake next time you see him in the pub, and just see if he can get his eye to twitch.
I certainly will do that. Okay, since we're on the video games, then, has video games or video gaming improved with the internet? Because I believe it has dived.
Yes.
There's so many things different now. You hardly ever sit on a sofa with your friend and play it.
Yeah, I miss co-op gaming.
Yeah, co-op gaming is like couch co-op. It's just sort of died
couch co-op. Yes.
I mean, the problem with sort of online things moving online in general is the fact that, like, you buy a game now, and half the time it's not finished, or if you want anything decent on it, you got to get all the DLC.
Oh.
Whereas, like, I mean, I've got like a PS2. Matt at Geek Planet just like had a reconditioned PS2, and we sort of talked gaming all the time, and I said I used to play on the PS2 a lot.
Sorry, carry on.
And so, he gave me this old PS2, which I've got now, and I went out and sort of bought all the games I played a lot in my mid-20s, and the thing is, with all those games, you've got the disc and you've got the whole game. It's like, you don't need to download anything extra. It's like, everything is there on the disc. You put the disc in and you play it.
Yeah, there was no questions about any bugs or anything like that. It was already trimmed out.
Yeah.
It worked.
Well, you still get bugs, but the thing was, you knew that it was kind of, that was it. The game was bugged, it was bugged. But the thing with games then, as opposed to now, is first off, it seemed like a good idea when you got all these massive multiplayer games. But then obviously you spent all the time on your phone, and so your phone bill would be like £700.
Yeah.
But nowadays, why do you want to go online and play with other people? Because everyone else is, you basically come in, it's like sticking your face in a ditch. Literally, you are putting yourself in the worst possible situation with the worst possible people pissing on your head. And it's just, video games as a single player experience now have got better. As a multiplayer experience, they have just got worse. If I want to play a game, I play a game. If I want to be told by a 12-year-old in San Jose that my mother sucks cocks in hell and smells like a camel, then I'll go online. You know, it's just shit.
But the multiplayer type shooters, like Call of Duties, my son is really good at it because his reflexes are really good. And I know that my reflexes are slowed down, so I can't compete. But he won't go on there and slag people off because I'll clip him around the ear roll. But he'll be talking to his friends, and he kind of takes up the whole room with just talking to his friends. And he's so good at it. It's so annoying. You watch his kill death rate, whatever it is, and he's like 35 for 2, and how the hell you do it? He's that annoying person that knows where everyone is, jumping out of the corner and shooting people and bouncing around like a deranged rabbit. And it's just so annoying, and so that has thrown me off of the online stuff. I don't want to go on there.
I mean, a lot of those sort of realistic shooters, I just find so dull. Everything's brown.
Yep.
Camouflage, and it's no fun. I mean, I've got like one of the games I picked up as soon as I got the PS2 was Time Splitters, and I remember like the multiplayer on that is, especially like the deathmatch mode, is just insane because like not so much Time Splitters 2, but the one that came after that. I don't think it was Time Splitters 3. It had like a subtitle, but like you could have sort of like up to like 14 or 15 like bots in there, and you could have various skill levels, and the bots that the characters you could unlock as you played the game were just mental. There was like one that was just like a dancing bear in like a little waistcoat and a fez. there was one for like there's like a creepy kind of Halloween kind of level.
I had a dream like that once.
Get all these like disembodied sort of cow carcasses like running around, and you can play as one of those or have one of those running around. And so, back in the pub I worked in, Mike, the landlord, who I used to work with, on Tuesday, I'd go up to the flat above the pub, and we'd just spend the evening playing sort of like couch co-op games.
Yeah,
and we just play loads and loads of Time Splitters 3 death matches because they were always fucking chaos. And the thing is, you could choose with what weapon you started with, and like you can start off with things like bricks. So you've got sort of like 15. Like people, including yourselves, like they're just hoofing bricks at each other and running to trying to be the first person to actually pick up anything useful.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like playing in the street in the 80s. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and like baseball bats was always a good one to start with because there would always be that shame if you were the first person that like managed to pick up a gun and then you got clocked over the end of a bat by somebody from behind and immediately lost it.
Nice.
But but it was bright, it was colourful, it was bedlam, it was hilarious. It was just shouting in rage because, like, there was a couple of like like crazy looking characters who even like the bear. I remember being like, it looked ridiculous, but its skill level was really high. It's just like getting shot, like finding out you've been shot, and it's like a fucking bear again.
Yeah, I mean, I had the similar sort of thing with Quake 3, or Quake Arena. But that again, it made it an event when you sort of would LAN connect your PC. So you'd have everyone would come around on a Saturday morning and bring all their gear and bring all their PCs, and you'd hook it all up. There'd be wires trailing all over the fucking house, and you'd sort of, when you finally got it working, because it had been such an effort to get it working in the first place, it was like, there is no way I'm stopping playing this. And you used to choose your games carefully, and you used to have a really good time. I remember my stag do was basically 6 people with desktops that we'd organised to come around my house, and we all played X-Wing Alliance and then Mech Warrior 2. And maybe that's not the best way of doing your stag do. It did get more raucous towards the end, but that sort of stuff, when you can pick the people you're playing with, that's brilliant.
Yeah, you want to play with your friends, not random strangers and all this. Although that being said, I broke my arm back in '96, and in the ward they had a SNES, which was already a little bit old at that point. I think the N64 came out, but they had Mario Kart on there, and didn't know anyone from Toffee, but everyone knew Mario Kart, so a great excuse to play a bit of massive co-op there. Plus, I became a master at winning that game with one hand. I could operate the controls. It was legendary.
Really?
One-handed Mario Kart. Euphemism.
But someone just mentioned on the chat room there about playing Doom 2 with two TVs back to back. I remember doing that with people.
Oh God, yeah. Gaz says it, didn't he? Yeah. That again. It's two PlayStations. You had to have two PlayStations, two TVs, two sets of controllers, and two copies of the game.
No. You could do it with one copy of the game. There was when it was like loading on one, because I only noticed because I did it with a couple of friends. Was the fact like when one was ready to go and it stopped, and the little loading icon stopped, you could pop the disc out and pop it into the other PlayStation. And then it would whiz around on the other PlayStation, load up, and then you were good to go.
Nice.
Did anyone play GoldenEye on the N64?
Oh God, I have GoldenEye stories.
I was going to say, anyone else find the cardinal sin was when you're playing the co-op and the guy would be looking in your half of a screen. It was like the cardinal sin. You don't look.
Yeah, you don't look at the other half of the
screen. It's like, the fuck you doing, man? The fuck you playing at?
Yeah, you're cheating. You're looking at the screen. I'm looking at the fucking screen.
My son says that now when I've played Call of Duty with him. You're watching. No, I'm not. I just killed you. No, you was watching. Yeah, it still goes on now.
Yeah.
Remember the first house I'd moved into after sort of moving out from my mum's place. We all worked together in the same pub, and one of them, our mate Shaggy, had moved out, and so we turned his room into what we called the games room.
Nice.
So we put up a dartboard, and we had Yahtzee stuff in there, and then we went out and bought a second-hand N64 purely for GoldenEye, purely just to play GoldenEye on it. We didn't want to play anything else, and we'd got all the rumble packs and the extra memory things as well. And whoever had owned it previously had unlocked everything on GoldenEye as well as an extra bonus.
Nice.
So basically, we got everything just unlocked: paintball mode, big Ed mode. Like all of that was all sort of unlocked and ready to play.
Nice.
And we'd get home from sort of working in the pub about sort of like 1 o'clock, and we'd sit there playing GoldenEye till like 3. Just I always played as Baron the Samedi, and he was always odd job.
Oh, that was the cheat though, wasn't it? Because apparently odd job was hard to the auto aim wouldn't work.
Well, odd job was a nightmare to play against when you played throwing knives. Especially when you were because I was Baron the Samedi, who was like 7 feet tall, and an odd job sort of 5 foot fuck all, running around throwing knives at my knees and then fucking off. And I'm just like, where are you, little bastard?
I was going to tell you because it's only got one analog stick on the N64 controller. I went back and had a play on. I found this N64 in the loft a couple of years ago. Could I operate that game? Could I? Fuck. My brain no longer knows how to deal with one analog stick.
There was a control setup where you could use 2 N64 controllers.
Oh dear!
Yeah, because you had the 4 ports at the front. There's a deliberate control setup you could have where you had an N64 controller in each hand, and one analog stick was the aim, and the other was the one you looked around and moved with.
And the Wii was born.
Yes. That's proper hardcore GoldenEye, that was.
Yeah.
We used to have a PlayStation night, and we used to go around my brother-in-law's, and every now and again, there was a time where you could actually rent out your PlayStation 2s or a PlayStation from Blockbusters or from another shop down the road which had one in store. Yep. And everyone would be like, yes, they've got it in stock. We can go there and rent it out. And we'd play either the Formula 1 or there was an international track and field game where you could have 4 players on the PlayStation. And we'd all bring our socks with us. And because we'd bring our socks because you can go between the buttons really smoothly but quickly. So you can get a high score. Instead of tapping with your 2 fingers to try and get your energy up. you'd waggle your little finger in a sock. And so there was 4 grown men laying on a floor while all the girls looked around going, what the bloody hell are they doing? We're all laying on the floor, just attacking these 2 buttons. And
you know what? I get the feeling that with some creative editing, that whole conversation there could come out very, very different. 5 guys with a sock going, oh, the girls looked. Yeah. That's
windbreakers between each of us.
Yeah, just don't look in the eyes. You'll be fine.
Yeah. And then hold your cup up above your head.
Yeah. No, don't eat. No, I don't want a biscuit. Thanks very much.
No.
I think I've turned it down.
There we go.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it was just, I loved that. I really, really enjoyed the sense of playing with other people in the same room. It's not the same as what it is now. What about cheats and stuff like that?
Oh,
Game
God.
genies.
Yeah. God.
What were there? What were there that we could use for cheats on video games?
It was Games Master.
Yeah. All the bad influence on ITV.
Do you not like Games Master?
No.
Were you the person that wanted the Neo Geo but couldn't afford it?
Yes.
Yeah. So was I, don't worry.
No, I mean, I died. I was at that point, I was a little bit too old for Games Master. I was just sort of working out what girls were for at that point. And what girls were for. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh, with a bit of creative editing. I don't know.
Yeah, you can have me saying that while you're doing your thing with your sock. No, I was just working out, sort of, hey, there was other things out in the world that I suddenly didn't really care about video games anymore, and Games Master came along just at that point. So I was kind of suddenly too cool for video games, which I sort of felt was a bit too much effort and went back. But no, I mean, for me, I always used to get game information out of magazines like Zap and Crash and CNVG. And there was always the Konami code to unlock things.
Yeah.
Which was up, down, left, right, BA. And you could do that on the controller on any Konami game, and you get like cheat modes on everything.
Mm-hmm.
SNES. There you go. I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, I've just interrupted everything, derailed everything.
Well, did anyone get cheat books?
I remember them. I don't recall if I ever got one, because there was Nintendo Magazine, was it? Was that what it was called? That used to have like guides and tips. Prima strategy guides. Had loads of those.
It was like Nintendo Power and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had one for Final Fantasy VII, and that was it. But Tom McCamberley just said on chat, does anyone have a favourite video game that they remember from the 80s? I mean,
arcade.
Well, arcade. He's saying arcade, but we did arcades, didn't we, Elton?
Yeah, we've done arcades.
We've rinsed that for 3 episodes.
I can't even remember what I said in that.
Oh, blimey!
Battlezone. That was the 80s.
Yeah, that was definitely the 80s. Battlezone. Well, there was this.
I did remember once in the Trocadero in London, they had a ridiculous version of Afterburner, which you played inside a gyroscope.
Oh, yeah.
It was still the same basic Afterburner game, but like if you move the stick around, it basically just like you were strapped into this chair, and it sort of spun you around sort of 360 degrees as you moved the plane around. And of course, nobody played the game properly. They were just sort of just whacking the stick around, trying to sort of.
G-Lock, it's called.
That's what.
Yeah. I remember those.
Blimey, I'm trying to think of all the things that I played. I mean, I used to play arcades all the time, and skipped the college I used to go down to Margate by Mini on a cold, wet weekday is not good. But yeah, I mean, things like was it Space Ace, which just used to eat your money until you lost. And then there was Rampage, which was fucking awful. And then there was Space Harrier, when you sat in a chair and sort of rocked backwards and forwards. Commando, which went on to the Commodore 64. Xenon.
Operation Wolf with the machine gun in the cabinet.
Yep.
Yep, definitely. He said, I meant like a favourite place to go and play games in the 80s. Oh, right. So was there an arcade that we used to actually go to?
No, if I was on holiday, then I just looked forward to going on holiday because there were cabinets on the site.
There was usually like arcade
machines.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
but I was going to say, coming from a time before the internet, I'm guessing in our childhoods we used to venture outside and do stuff, like ride bikes and
people used to knock for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You maybe run down the street, knock on your mate's door. Can he come out and play? It's like, no, he's in trouble. Well, when can he come out and play?
That's the one thing internet is very good at is now you can just tell everyone that you're tired, bored, and to fuck off. Because I tell you what, I have a friend of mine called Simon Miller who loved his bike, and he used to come round my house every fucking day and knock on the back window, the patio window, and sort of go, "Is Lee coming out?" And it's like, I don't want to go out on my bike. You've got a nimble fucking racer. We're living on a hill, and I've got a grifter. Jesus, motherfucking Christ! I'm like trying to push a tank up the hill, and you're going, "Wee!" It's like, no, I'm not being the fat bloke. I'm not being tiny from G-Force here. I'm not doing it.
I like the grifter.
Yeah, I like the grifter as well, especially when you ran over people. It really hurt them.
I had a rally boxer.
Boxer. God, luxury.
Well, it was either the rally boxer or the rally burner, and I always thought the rally burner was a bit more of a prestige bike, but the boxer was a little bit cheaper.
I had a mountain bike, and I used to meet up with my mate Brian Leagate, and there was a big hill, very narrow alleyway down the side of this hill. Like there's like a fence on one side, hedge on the other, 90-degree bend at the bottom of this hill. It was massive. I mean, in my mind, it was like Everest. And we'd push our bikes up to the top of it, and then we'd scoot down there fast as we can, humming something from Star Wars, pretending we're doing the Death Star trench.
Nice.
Trying hope beyond hope that we could make that turn at the bottom, which was impossible according to the laws of physics. But, we're not going to let, demonstrable, repeatable evidence stop us from trying. We used to terrorize the local area on our bikes. It was so much fun. I mean, I'm amazed I'm still alive. Just thinking back to some of the shit we used to get up to when riding around on bikes, on the roads and everything like that. It's just
yeah.
How am I not dead, smeared on the side of some Arctic?
We used to skateboard down the big slide in the green. There used to be a massive slide.
I tried something like that once.
Oh, we used to sit down on it, so it wasn't too bad. We weren't totally crazy and hell bent on actually killing ourselves. But
that's where I was going from.
Yeah, but we did where we used to live and where the shops are down the green. There's a roundabout just up the road from it, and there's a big hill. Cambridge? No, not Cambridge. One of the roads up there, and it's steep as fuck. It's crazy. And then we would all line up at the top, either on our bikes or on our skateboards, and just waiting for all the cars to disappear. And then once you committed, especially on a skateboard, once you committed to going down that hill, that's it. You're down that hill. You've got no chance. If there's a car coming up, well, he's going to have to wait, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately,
that's a real Frogger.
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah. Except you only get one life.
Yes.
So let me ask you guys a question, because a couple of you have got kids, right, haven't you?
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about your kids going out and doing shit like we used to, like going out and playing, like being away from the computers? Because my admittedly ignorant understanding of this is kids can't go to a park on their own because it's full of pedophiles and they're going to get kidnapped and sold to child factories in Azerbaijan or something like that.
Yeah,
so they obviously have to stay home and use computers, but it strikes me that's kind of, you're missing out on hurtling down the very, very narrow alleyway on a bike across traffic.
Yeah, well, we live on Planet Daily Mail now, where every corner is inhabited by hundreds of paedophiles. Apparently, I mean, we're getting there. I mean, basically, when I was young, my kind of going out to the shops on my own was kind of the age was about 11, because the kid across the road when we moved into this street, was like 16, and so I kind of fell in with the big brothery kind of character who sort of like was living across the street, and so I kind of started going to Bromley and what have you around about sort of 11. And Katie's doing that now. She's going on the bus to get to secondary school. So as far as I'm concerned, things haven't changed. The fact that she doesn't want to go on a bike racing down a hill is completely up to her. But the fact is, going out doesn't bother us. I mean, the other thing is technology now. You got a phone. She's got an iPhone. I can actually track her down to the actual, to the nearest 10 yards thanks to that phone having.
You've just reminded me of something else. How delightful it was to be completely out of contact with people, like completely. You go out for the day. You're out for the day. You ain't speaking to no one, because if you're not within shouting distance, I can't hear you. Don't want to hear you.
Yep. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, yeah, I must admit, nowadays, I think if I look back to myself going, oh, I've got a mobile phone, I'd probably slap myself in the face.
Yeah. See, I used to do that. I used to go out with my friends. As soon as the sun was up, or as soon as Whackaday had finished, then we'd be off. That was it. We were gone. And we might come back for lunch, or we'd probably be back for dinner and to watch Neighbours, and then out again until about 8 o'clock at night. And that was our routine, especially during summer holidays. Nowadays, there was an incident where my son, he goes on a bus now to school, so that's not a problem. I've got no problems with it. He's got a good head on him. I'm not saying he's an angel, but he's got a good head on him, and he knows he's right from wrong. But once you get mixed up with other kids, then you can kind of lose your head. I've done it before, so I know that. But he has had an incident where he's been over the wreck, which is a couple of roads away. It's a big playing field, and there was a 15-year-old kid coming over and giving him some stick, and then it got a bit weird, and to the point where they went, okay, bye-bye, and then ran off, and then told the missus, and the police were called. So I know that I can trust them for that. But when I come home from work and he's sat in front of that PlayStation, my heart breaks just a tiny bit, because I speak to him, okay, are you going to go out tonight? No, well, everyone's on here. Okay. Are you going to go out this weekend? Yeah, I'm trying to plan it. What do you mean you're trying to plan it? Just go knock. No, well, no one's getting back to me. And that's different for me. It was a case of, you get up, okay, I want to go out today. You take your bike, you go knock on the doors. And if you knock on everyone's doors and then come back, then you do something else. But now it's, okay, well, he hasn't texted me, or he hasn't got back to me, or he's still in bed, so I'm not going to bother. It's just too easy not to go out sometimes.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe in 20 years he's going to be, getting his mates on his podcast, going, oh, do you remember when we were kids? We used to sit in front of the computer for hours. That was awesome.
Yeah, they might actually be reviewing this episode. You never know.
I think that's slightly unlikely.
I mean, listen to these old farts bagging on.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think we've ever sat there and listened to Mr. Chumley Wagner talking about how things are going to be great once the war effort gets going.
That's true.
Do your part. I mean, don't listen to that on an average day. I mean, to be quite honest, you say that, but I mean, you say about sort of it breaks your heart they don't want to go out, but let's be honest. How many times did you used to sit there? I mean, I know you did, but I mean, I know I was very sedentary, and I'd be like, I've got my books, I've got my video games, I've got TV, I've got my music. What the fuck do I need to go out for anything? Oh, there's a new thing at the cinema. Okay, I'm going out. That was kind of me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's any different. I think too often people look at technology as an excuse to blame people for the behaviours they have, which they would have had 20 years ago.
Oh, it's like you always see people going, oh, wait. Sort of patronising signs in pubs going, no, we haven't got Wi-Fi, pretend it's the 90s and talk to other people. And people didn't. Like, yeah, they go, oh yeah, nobody on the train talks to each other. No one on the train ever talks to each other. You don't talk to people on trains unless you already know them, and even then that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Very true.
Don't make eye contact, damn it.
Yeah. Trains are like your idols.
There's lots of them pictures of people talking about people talking on the trains, and yet they've got their nose buried in a newspaper because they don't want to speak to anyone else. They want to disappear into that world, and the world has just shrunk into the size of a palm of our hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's just the size of the technology. It's not the technology itself. I mean, human behaviour hasn't changed. I mean, it makes me laugh. My mum and dad would look at me playing, I don't know, something on the 64 and go, why are you always playing that? Why are you always doing that? Why don't you go out and do something? And then they'd go and sit down and for the rest of the evening watch Coronation Street, EastEnders, Panorama, the news. It's like, yeah, you want me to fuck off out and do something, but you are all going to sit on the sofa and watch telly for the remaining 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then, and then you go back even further. You go, right, okay, well then, you're sitting there on a phone now, and you go, right, okay, and then they go, why are you always reading that book? Right, why are you always looking at that phone? It's like, okay, I shall put the phone down. What are you doing? Oh, you're watching telly. Oh, you're reading a book. How's it different? It's not the thing that you're doing and you don't understand it. Well, tough fucking titty. I'm sorry, I'm doing exactly what everyone else do.
Yeah.
But it's like every piece of new technology is always responsible for the downfall of society.
Yeah, exactly. Daily Mirror world. Yeah, sorry. I'll get on my little soapbox there.
Shall we get off your lawn?
Yeah, get off my lawn.
Right, okay, we've got 8 minutes left. Do we dare go into another episode, or should we cram what I've got left in these 8 minutes?
I don't mind. I'm happy to do whatever. I'm happy to do whatever you like.
I'm happy to stick about. It's
Okay.
up to you, sir.
Dave, are you alright with that?
Yeah, crack on.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I will finish it here for the second part. We'll have a little break, and then we'll come back and do a very short third part, if that's all right with everyone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that then.
Still
yeah,
have 10 listeners, so it's all good.
no, that's good.
Oh, I dream of 10 listeners.
Right, so we'll be back very, very soon. We'll finish it here. My thanks to Andy, to Lee, and to Dave for joining me on this second part. Yes, there is a third part, but I'll probably stick it on the end of this for the podcast. So, just 30 seconds and then we'll be back. So, I'll end it here, and we'll be back to talk about the rest of my list that I have before the internet. Hello everyone, welcome back to part 3 of the Shonky Lab. We're talking about before the internet. I think the what foods do you warm up has kind of petered out.
Pitta, there you go. I used to warm pittas up. I won't eat a cold pitta. And I won't eat cold chicken either. That is wrong.
Or pizza, apparently.
Or pizza. Don't judge me.
What's the matter with cold chicken?
It goes hard. And then if you get that stuff out of like...
Cold KFC after cold pizza is the best food ever.
This explains a lot.
Yeah, do you get a lot of dicky tummy?
No.
Yeah, do you maintain your thinness by the fact that you've got a large amount of E. coli racing through your system?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought about it till you mentioned it, but no, I don't think so.
Anyway, yes, we're back talking about before the internet. I have on my left, shall we say, we have Dave Probert.
Hello.
We have Lee Medcalf.
Does that mean I'm in the middle?
You're in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, Andy, swap with Lee. Andy.
Okay, hang on that. Move it.
Excuse me, thank you.
In the middle, Andy Plastiles.
Hello.
There we go. And to my right, we have Mr. Lee Medcalf. Now he's shifted around.
See? The right-hand man of Elton McManus.
There we go.
Yep. Left out pizza overnight. It's a culinary challenge. Thomas and Campbell. What is wrong with you people? Sorry.
It's a food substance that will not die. Right, so let's get back on track. I can't remember exactly where we were, but you did bring up something backstage, shall we say, about how do we go out and purchase stuff before the eBay turned up, and what's all the other sites that we can use? Gumtree,
Amazon.
Yeah.
Then there's things like Zavvi and HMV.
Oh, Zavvi can die in a fire.
Oh yeah, I never said I'd do it. I mean, Christ,
I think it did die in a fire, didn't it?
It did, along with all my money as well. I had one of them gift things with about 25 quid left on it, and then they went into administration. And, oh no, you can't use your gift tokens now. Only real money. Oh, okay. Well, funny enough, you were quite happy to take my real money in exchange for this, weren't you tossers?
Mm.
Oh,
Yes, there you go. And Virgin stores.
Yeah,
Virgin Mega Stores. The one on Oxford Street.
Yeah.
Our Price Records, anyone?
Our Price Records are the best.
I still have some bags upstairs.
Oh man.
Woolworths. I mean, when Woolworths was good, not when it went shit.
Oh, yeah, you're that's presuming a lot.
It was somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was always that little electric section up the back of Rumbelows which had video games. You could buy your Atari Jaguar games there.
Oh bloody
Argos! How is Argos still alive in this day and age? I mean, it's hanging by a thread, but it's still there.
Yeah. And
Well, that was a major event when the new Argos catalogue came out. It was like, we've got to go to get the new catalogue, so we know what to buy.
You have to look at the toy section at the back to find out what's going to be big that year.
Yeah, definitely.
The laminated Book of Dreams.
To catch the tears of joy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad Littlewoods didn't do a laminated one.
I was hoping they would.
There was another mail order one. Was it Graton or something like that?
The Grattan catalogue.
Yeah, used to appear on the door randomly from, I don't know, postman or whatever.
Yeah.
Also full of toys, which no one would ever buy, because you could try and calmly explain to your parent why. Look, I know it says 600 quid, but it says here you could easily pay it off in monthly instalments. I don't see why it's difficult, and why I can't have the electric car.
I used to pine over Walkmans when they used to come out. When I first got my paper round, and when I first got my first college job. I went to a college where they paid you 35 quid a week to go to college.
Wow.
And well, I was rich. I didn't have anyone to spend it on. It was brilliant. And I used to look through all the Walkmans and, okay, I want that one. It's got auto reverse on it. It's got the double bass thing on it as well. And I miss them days, because now it's just iPods. Okay, yeah, whatever. I
mean, did you not have moments where you went into a shop so many times that staff actually used to know you?
Yep.
I mean, because that's what used to happen. There was a computer game shop called The Village in Shortlands, just down the road from me here, and every Saturday morning there used to be me and my girlfriend's brother, who was one of my classmates, and we used to go down to the Village, and we used to wait on Saturday morning and just talk to the guys there. It was like a little boutique shop. It was literally the size of a living room. And we used to talk to them and wait for the delivery of the new games to turn up, so that we could figure out what new games were, out, and buy them. And and they all turned up in cassettes, in a box, and it was like, I was like, when that place closed, a little bit of me died. Because it was like, oh no.
There was a shop in Sidcup called the Silica Shop. It was just off
Silicon Shop. Yeah, I know it.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I actually bought my Amiga there.
'Cause I used to buy my Amiga games from there, and I bought a massive joystick from there. But I spent weeks and weeks riding up there and looking at this joystick and saying, I haven't got enough money for it yet. And it wasn't even one of these analog ones. It was just switches. I was very disappointed when I got it home.
Thomas McCamberley had one called Fandom 2. He graduated from an ankle biter to a grizzled old grownard right there. Doreen's saying that I'm making her think of the Cheers theme tune.
There was the Games Workshop in Brent Cross. Used to spend many an hour there.
Andy, unplug your microphone and plug it back in.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Games Workshop. I used to love Games Workshop.
Oh, yeah.
Going wrong. It reeked, and you could smell that a country mile away. But you go in, it's fucking little models and paints, and you could spend hours all day just painting models.
Well, people had hobbies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just even like nowadays, like all these collectibles that everyone's got, they buy all these special editions. I used to have to make a whole day trip just to go to the Forbidden Planet. And
trip? Luxury.
Day trip. And it was in Denmark Street. It wasn't even the one in, when it moved to, Oxford Street?
Yeah.
It was Denmark Street. And this place smelt like you would not believe. I mean, it was like someone's air conditioning had broken down 20 years ago and someone left a dead rat in it. But anyway, sorry, carry on. Just my brain suddenly went off on a tangent there.
No, you've reminded me of Cruising Records in Welling High Street as well. I used to buy all my Acorn Electron games in there. And they had like different grades of games as well. And bearing in mind, this is all paper round money that I was using. And so you'd buy the $1.99 games, which were crap.
Firebird games were good.
But then you go up to the $2.99 games, which weren't too bad. And then they'd have like the big games, which were $5.99.
Well, yeah, but you had an Acorn Electron, so you were rich.
Really?
Yeah, Acorn Electrons were the bloody bee's knees at one point. They were the 16-bit generation.
Were they?
Yeah, first 16-bit computers.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. They had Virus or Zarish or whatever it's called. Zarek. There was two. There was Zarek and there was Virus, or otherwise known as Lander, and that came out on the Acorn Electron, and that came out. The Acorn Electron was like just after the BBC and just after the 64.
Yeah, because you could play BBC games on the Acorn Electron, but you couldn't play Acorn Electron on the BBC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe I was very posh.
Yep.
I'm going to start looking down my nose at people.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I found these days, though, is how frustrating it is when you can't find what you want online. Like, you have to go out and buy something in the shops. Because I had that today. I had to buy a new lens cap for one of my lenses. And Amazon was sold out. I'm like, damn it, I need this. I'm going away on Saturday. Had to go into town. First shop didn't have it. It's like, fucking hell. I want this epic Lord of the Rings-esque quest across all of London trying to find this fucking lens cap. Until finally, at 5 to 5.
Just picturing you like J.R. Hartley in the Yellow Pages advert.
What you see? If it had occurred to me to call, I would have saved myself a hassle, but it didn't.
Like Brian Cox on a mountain as a helicopter pans past him.
It was exactly like that. Exactly like that.
So, would you like to go on an adventure? Yes, we're going to get a lens cap.
I'll tell you what, the sense of accomplishment when I found it was pretty accomplishing. It was like, way.
Hang on, so where does one purchase a lens cap nowadays?
I can tell you where one doesn't. One doesn't purchase it from Curry's. One doesn't purchase it from John Lewis. One doesn't purchase it from the Calumet camera shop in Euston Road because they were sold out. One doesn't purchase it from any of the camera shops down all of Tottenham Road, but one does purchase it from Camera World just off of Oxford Street.
So, this lens cap is sold out What is so special about this lens cap?
Without getting overly technical, Canon decided to pull an Apple recently and change the size of their main lenses from 77mm to 82mm, which means they're fucking ball ache to find. So now you know.
Did you grab it like the Idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark with a bag of sand?
I'll tell you what I did do when I turned up there. He had two, and I said, I'm buying both of them. I said, fuck it. I don't care who's coming after me. I'm fucking having both of those.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it was, Dr. Jones. Once again, I prove that there is nothing you can possess that I cannot take away.
Exactly.
Belongs in the museum.
Yeah. So do you. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. And then later on, the irony is that Andy found out the Pringles lid would fit perfectly.
Strangely enough, I have considered that in the past. They won't. They would have fit the old lens, the 77mm, but not the. But that's a story for another time, children.
Okay, right. I'm going to move us on to.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else anyone wants to say about purchasing stuff.
Dave.
Yes, hello.
Hello. What? I mean, you are a man of worldly goods and buy stuff. I mean, what did you used to do before the internet?
Mainly Argos, I think. I mean, that's where I got my first sort of console, my Atari 2600, which I bought way after it was a big console. Like Nintendo had been like vastly overtaken it, so I got it for like peanuts by comparison. So I'm spending all my time playing Centipede and Crystal Castle.
Nice.
And then there's sort of like flea marketplaces as well. I mean, like you don't see as much anymore because sort of eBay's sort of taken that over. I mean, they are still out there, but sort of nowhere near as regular as or as common as they were back then. I know, my dad, when he was living in Bexley Heath, there was like when I went around there when I was younger, there was a big sort of flea marketplace of places you could buy and sell like old Star Wars figures and stuff like that, or old comics and just like little sort of just on sort of pop-up tables and stuff, which you don't see anymore because again, that sort of thing just goes straight onto eBay now.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like there used to be that whole thing of you used to be able to guarantee that if you were looking for something electrical, you could walk up Tottenham Court Road and literally walk into one shop, ask them how much something was, go into the next shop next door, say, "Oh, the people next door were giving me this. What can you give me?" And you could literally, because there were so many of them all on top of each other, you could hop up all the way up the top of the street. And then by the end of it, you'd have knocked like 50% off by the time you reached the one at the very end.
Yeah.
But nowadays, they all just get their phones, go straight onto eBay and go, "No, that's how much it's going to cost." You're like, "Oh, fuck. What, you going to give me anything off?" "No." "Oh, right. Done."
Well, the boot fair has kind of died as well because of that. When we did our boot fair episode, it was just trying to find a bargain there. There is nothing because people know eBay. They can sling all their good stuff on eBay and get pretty good money for it. And then the people walking around the boot fairs are just, okay, yeah, you can have the crap that's left over.
Yeah. And because the other thing with eBay is there's this whole thing of like, well, if something you bought is shit, you can just send it back to them and ask for your money back. There's a sort of, there's none of this sort of thing with boot fairs where you sort of like, you give someone something that you've spent all night polishing and go, "Ha, got them," and then run away with the money under your arm. But yeah, the boot fair's basically done itself in by basically being so full of shit.
Oh, yeah. But I used to buy a lot of Amiga games there as well. There used to be lots of guys with their stalls out and just rows and rows of these blue, beautiful discs. And it was £1 a disc. And if you found a game which was 4 discs, okay, you got £4. Brilliant. But if you can find one with like 1 or 2 discs, you're on a bargain straight away.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh man.
Piracy. There's a thing. What did we do before the internet?
it was still there. It wasn't invented by the internet, was it?
No, not at all.
We get pirate videos. I had a copy of Jurassic Park without half the effects in it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it weird watching the correct version then after that?
No, because I'd seen it in a cinema first, and then we got the correct. I remember it started in a different place. It started with them actually digging up the raptor in the desert, and I think it was mostly the stuff in the kitchen. There was no effects there, so you had like things just randomly falling where the raptors interacted with them. It didn't have the T-Rex bit at the end either. So the at the end when the bones all collapse, they just fell. I'm guessing it was an FX work print. But yeah, it's just you watch it. I was 12 years old or something like that. So you don't really really recognise that something's wrong there. Why it doesn't happen? It's just like, oh, well, whatever. It's Jurassic Park. Hey, the quality was atrocious. I remember that. It was properly shit.
But we stuck with it though.
Well, it was because you had it before anyone else did. It was just like, it was even more rarefied. I mean, that was something to be spoken in hushed tones in the playground. It's like, I have a copy of Jurassic Park at home.
Yeah.
I found it sort of interesting. I was watching a DVD the other day and it had one of those sort of anti-piracy ads at the start of it.
Yeah.
And it was one of the older anti-piracy ads where it's, some people sort of like some bloke's got some dodgy stall and he's selling sort of like DVDs and stuff. And they, that's quaint.
Oh, so it's not, you wouldn't steal a car?
Well, like it was, but it was like, but they made the they eventually made the switch to showing sort of somebody downloading something rather than sort of buying it from some dodgy geezer at a marketplace, because that's sort of where the sort of transition from piracy became from sort of some blokes selling sort of dodgy videos or DVDs of like knocked off copies to now you can just download it illegally. Like you don't even need to leave your house or talk to some sort of dodgy bloke in a pub.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you a little anecdote. I used to work in a shop in Harrow, and I used to feel really sorry for. They'd come in with a plastic bag, say, "You want to buy DVD?" and I felt really sorry for them in that. No, I don't, because I can download a better quality version of what you have to offer.
Yeah,
it's just like, no, I'm sorry. Here, I've got some change here. Go and buy yourself something warm to drink, because. It was just pathetic, basically.
Yeah. Mm.
So what pirate movies did we all have?
I remember having, basically my dad got in with the guy at the video shop in Downham, and basically they would go for a drink every day, just after, as Dad was ending work. He'd pop in and have a drink, and then the guy would sort of open up the shop. So at the end, Dad would come home and he'd literally have like 3 or 4 tapes, but they didn't actually say, didn't have proper covers. So pretty much everything I watched, and so there was so I always remember Alien, Jaws, Dawn of the Dead. And what was the other one? There was another one which was always on. There was the only one that we owned was properly owned was a Bugs Bunny collection. Which was really funny because it actually cost my dad £70 because it was a rental copy. Because you remember you used to get the rental ones.
Yeah.
Well, the ex-rental ones that came in massive boxes.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right.
And when
I got quite a few of those actually, but they weren't bought ex-rental. They were acquired when they were still in the rental shops, shall we say?
Nice. Anyway, go on. Carry on. I'll step back. I won't say any more about that because I will just go through my entire DVD collection for the last 20 years.
Okay, Dave. Top 2 pirate movies that you got before the internet turned up.
I don't think I ever really got any pirate stuff before the internet. Really, I maybe I just didn't move in the circles where people sort of passed that sort of stuff on. It was just not something that I came across. I mean, whenever you sort of saw those ads, it's like, where did people get these things?
That's the thing, though. You had to move in them circles, didn't you?
Yeah. So I never really had anything pirate, just because I didn't have the opportunity.
But if it was there, I would have so much. Andy, what about you?
Well, yeah. Aside from Jurassic Park, which I mentioned, we had Disney films and stuff like that. But just going back to the rental ones that Lee was talking about, I have all 3 of the original Star Wars as ex-rental copies. CIC, I think, was the brand or something like that. Again, the huge boxes. Yeah. Also have a Star Trek the slow motion picture as an ex-rental one.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's a thing.
My uncle got me a copy of Empire Strikes Back, and at the very beginning, when you see the Star Destroyer coming slowly towards you, the aspect ratio was off, and so it'd wobble, and then squat down. And when I eventually saw the correct version of that, it felt so weird. It wasn't right. I was always used to the Star Destroyer squatting down. It just feels weird. The other one I had was Batman. And you think DC films are grim and dark and gritty now. Flipping hell. The only thing you could see in that copy was the Joker's face when he laughed. That was the only thing. It was just people fighting and flashes of light every now and again. People talking and then the Joker's face. And that's all you could see in this copy. But by God, I would watch it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, the when you say it's strange seeing things, I mean, one pirate copy I do remember having at one point was RoboCop, which was taken from the airline tape.
Actually, I think I might have had that copy as well.
Yeah, and it basically, all the swearing and all the violence had been edited out within an inch of his life. So you could actually see their lips moving and saying things like, he's a real motherfucker. But then you'd hear, he's a real mother crusher. And, you know, it's sort of like, dead or alive, you're coming with me. And then suddenly he'll shoot someone and you just see them fall over. You never see blood or guts or anything like that. And by the end of it, you know, I only knew RoboCop by the non-sweary version. You know, that guy's a real airhead. You know, he's a real mother crusher. You're such an airhead, Dick.
I remember because they don't have the guy who falls into a vat of acid in there, do they? Because he disappears.
No, he just vanishes.
Yeah, and I remember when I first saw that properly, I was like, "The fuck is this?" That's horrifying.
Yep. So yeah,
the copy of Die Hard I had for the longest time was sort of videotaped off the telly, and again just had all the swearing sort of replaced, and the most famous line was done as a yippee-ki-yay Kimasabi. And for ages I thought that was the line. And part of me still kind of prefers it.
Hang on. If I say a line, see if you can guess which film it's from, yeah?
Okay. Go on.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Yes, that's the Big Lebowski.
Yep.
God. Okay.
Well, it was dubbing.
It was another airline copy, wasn't it?
It's an airline copy, yeah, because it's when Walter's doing "This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the arse," but they overdubbed it. "This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps," which contextually really doesn't make any sense, but did match up to the lip movements.
But if anything, it just makes that scene even funnier.
Yeah,
you and John going, "This is what happens. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps."
Of course. Makes perfect sense.
Oh, overdubs.
Well, you see they always put them on the Cornetto trilogies when they've had to sort of replace them.
Yeah.
And like the bit in Hot Fuzz when the vicar gets shot. And then when originally he says Jesus Christ, and then the airline copy goes peas and rice.
Yeah. There's one like that with Galaxy Quest, isn't there, as well? And when they see the chompers, and you can clearly see Sigourney Weaver mouthing the words, "fuck that." And she goes, "Well, screw that."
Well, that was taken out for the theatrical version as well. I think just for the rating.
Yeah.
They wanted like a lower rating, and so they had to sort of take some of the sweariness out.
Yeah. Which is a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah.
Because that would have been extremely funny. There you go.
Well, since we're pushing on to the TV side of things, I think my last sort of sub-genre of this talk would be on television. And the way that we used our television in the olden days. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to poke you guys into.
Well, I suppose in terms of fan interaction and stuff, like being a big Doctor Who fan, obviously before there were sort of web communities and stuff, for a few years I was a member of the sort of Doctor Who Appreciation Society, and sort of the only kind of interaction you had with that was you got like a monthly magazine, which had sort of reviews and articles and stuff And I mean, there was stuff in there sort of written by people who've obviously sort of gone on to being sort of big wigs in the world of Doctor Who. There was sort of stuff by like Nicholas Briggs and Paul Cornell and people who back then were sort of fan writers and sort of people in the fan community who have obviously gone on to do big things. But yeah, that was sort of like the only way you had of seeing sort of what other fans sort of thought and stuff through sort of reading sort of fanzines and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I used to find out about things like Star Trek and games and films and everything. I mean, I literally would find things out by going to WH Smith's that would actually sell Starlog, and that was literally the only way I'd find anything out about things like what were coming up on telly. Starburst was the other magazine, and yeah, so trying to find out about any films or any TV stuff would literally be either by accident or because I managed to get to the magazine before it turned up on telly.
I had that with there's another one called TV Zone.
Oh yes,
yeah, which was where I like devoured a lot in the 90s. And that's how I found out about things like the X-Files and stuff like that, was just through articles about it in TV Zone.
Yeah,
and obviously you would go on to sort of find out stuff, and you'd go on to watch things based on the buzz that were in magazines like that.
Yeah, there was
Radio Times,
and the red pen would come out.
Yep. Get the old Video Plus code.
Oh my God, Video Plus! Did that thing ever work?
Nope.
Occasionally.
But you wouldn't get the whole program that you wanted to video.
No, but I'm just having an acid flashback. Do you remember in the top corner you'd get that little black and white checker box letting you know the adverts were coming up?
Yes, that'd be the moment you hit the pause button.
Yeah.
Recording.
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
Also, picture in picture. Picture in picture. So you want to record something on the other side, you wait for it to start and record, and back to watching what you were doing there.
Oh, see, I was never that posh having picture in picture.
No.
Oh, what can I say?
Yeah,
but
I didn't have a TV with a remote until I was about like 15.
Yeah.
Well, there was no catch up there as well. So if we missed our program, that was it. It was gone.
Oh God, yeah, that was it. I mean, that's what almost killed Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for me, was that they literally put it on, and then I was out one Tuesday and I missed like the second episode, and I loved the first one and I missed the second one, and then I kind of got the third one. But as luck would have it, I'm very much a night owl, and so one night I'd actually stayed up super late, and they repeated it on BBC Two before close down. Because remember, the TVs used to shut down at like 1.
Yeah.
Repeated. Played the national anthem and everything.
Oh God!
And you have your CFAX on BBC Two with a bit of music playing.
Yep, that's it.
I think tonight we might play out with the national anthem.
I think we should.
Yeah.
It seems right.
maybe weird, but again, that was another one of those strange things that terrified the shit out of me. The national anthem playing, because it was like the end of the world. It was like, not only is TV going off, but they're playing out on a thing.
It's like the country shutting down.
The whole world was going away at this point, and it's like, oh, right, okay, that's it then, is it? Oh, it's like
you had the BBC blimp would be on there and goes, and that's the end of our programming for tonight, and goodbye. Dan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it would be like I'm literally sitting there watching it, going, no, don't go, come back, no, please, and the thing's playing, because I tell you what, I don't know about you, but there was I think it was the Omega Man that had that whole intro with a guy on the radio going, we reaped what we sow, God bless us all, and it just kind of like, that's the end of the world, and it's like, I just remember that, and then so every time when TV would go into shutdown, it's like, that's it, we're doomed. It's ended every night. So I used to try and get to sleep before the TV shut down, even though I would stay up really late.
Yeah, it was a creepy kind of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, you just knew that there was no one there. That was it.
Doreen says that Open University used to be on overnight on BBC Two.
That's very true. I remember that.
But
it always used to be on first thing in the morning on Saturdays before like Saturday Superstore started.
Basically, yeah. And Sharky and George, old cartoons.
Sharky and George, blimey, where are you? I keep forgetting you're a fetus.
I remember Sharky and George.
Yeah, you do.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, shut up, Grandpa.
I clearly had grown pubic hair by this point. Moved on. Yeah, so no, yeah, well, the Open University didn't used to run on BBC2 until much later. By that, I obviously had videos by that point, and the Land of the Jawas.
It's like when breakfast TV started. I mean, that was like a revelation because there wasn't sort of television on that early normally, up to that point. Like when it sort of started in the early 80s.
Roland the Rat.
Yes.
TVAM as well.
Yeah.
Timmy Mallet.
Wincy Willis. bloody Green Goblin. What? No, not Green Goblin. Green
Goddess.
That's the one.
the Green Goblin used to do aerobics first.
Yeah, that was Mr. Motivator, wasn't it?
No, there was.
I think I was right the first time.
There was Lizzie. You get busy with Lizzie in the morning before Mr. Motivator. She was doing all the aerobics.
Mad Lizzie, they used to call her.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. Well, it was a fairly good description, to be honest. Yeah, she was. She was kind of nuts.
Yeah. It has been mentioned in the Mixler chat about CFAX and Oracle and Bamboozle.
Ah, yes.
Did anyone jump on there?
Occasionally, yeah. You'd have the old quizzes and stuff, and you had to press the reveal button to get the answer.
Oh man.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it was something I never had at home because we never had a television with teletext. So it was always just like, if I would go around to either my granddad's house or like a friend's house or something, I'd be sort of like staring in awe at CFAX and this kind of interaction that you could have with it and stuff like that.
It was more of a news and weather I used. It's just that's what it was used for. I knew there were the games on there, but it used to cycle through, didn't it? The page would be up for a few seconds and then it would go to the next. You had no real control over it.
The more advanced versions had a pause function. You could sort of stop it.
Oh my god, yes, they did, yeah.
You could pause it, but then when you unpaused it, it just jumped to where it was now, didn't it?
Yes.
There is an online version of it on pages from cfax.net, which I think scrolls through today's news in the CFAX form.
Nice.
And you can't pause it.
I just found it. That is pretty fucking awesome. Yes, it's got the time and the clock and everything. The stock market shit.
Apparently, Lucky Minty in the chat said that when she was 8 years old, she was on TVAM with Mad Lizzie.
Wow.
That's got to be online somewhere.
Please let that be on YouTube.
See, this is the internet right there, because like now that was condemned to the mists of time. Now, suddenly, at least 10, 15 people have suddenly started Googling.
So let us take this opportunity to acknowledge the fact that how grateful we all are that we got most of our stupid shit out of the way before the internet was a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So what do we Google? Do we Google Lucky Minty on TVAM?
No.
Yes, that's the name she went by when she was 8.
No, I know her name. You can look up her name on Facebook, and then you do that Google. That's the Google you do. See, you got to be careful about these things. No chance she's going. Mad Lizzie or Mad Minty. Look up Mad Minty. That'll probably work. Oops. Oh, there we go. Anyway, yeah. I mean, the CFAX. The only thing I knew with CFAX was the stuff was done by Paul Rose. Do you ever know that?
No.
Right.
Paul Rose basically used to write all this crazy shit. And it was a bit like Charlie Brooker writing for computer and video games. They just didn't think there was anyone actually reading this stuff. So they just wrote mad bollocks, absolutely mad stuff. Hold on, I'm going to try and see if I can find it. Carry on, talk amongst yourselves. But the stuff that he used to write was like an ongoing. Oh,
I just found the music option on that CFAX page. It's horrifying, but I can't turn it off now.
Yeah, Mr. Biffo, that was it. Digitizer.
Was it like a text adventure?
No, Digitizer was a video games magazine that was broadcast on teletext between 1993 and 2003, and originally billed itself as the world's only daily games magazine. Digitizer was created by Paul Rose and Tim Moore, who went by the pseudonyms Mr. Biffo and Mr. Hares. And basically,
starting to ring a bell.
Yeah, for every person who hated Digitizer, there was dozens more who loved it. The campaigns were waged to have Digitizer's team fired. There was Digitizer frequently courted controversy, inspiring criticism both from outside groups and Teletext's own editorial team, who viewed the writers as troublemakers who were unable to axe them due to the magazine's popularity. They would do money for old rope. They just wrote any old shit. They used to do regular characters like the man with the long chin, Mr. T, which would be Mr. T, who would dispense worldly advice while warning kids to stay away from his bins. His distinctive vocal style was brought across by the use of random capitalization of entire words and sentences. There was Zombie Dave, a reanimated corpse who appeared on the news page and punctuated the items and comments written in the manner of a shambling dead. And this was frequently used as an excuse to get rude comments screened on family-friendly service, such as when he described Tomb Raider's Lara Croft as the bird with their tits, but spelt like THRRRBRRRDWRRZ. THRR tits, TISSSDZ, like that. There was Gossie the dog, perhaps Digitizer's most controversial character. Gossie hosted a regular game gossip page. On one occasion, the Broadcasting Media Standards Commission upheld a complaint against Gossie, which alluded to Gossie's master thrashing the talking cartoon dog with a belt. Yeah, so, and there was also Dr. Derek Doctors, a sinister megalomaniac whom Biffo and Hares secretly removed from the air after concerned mother rang to say she found it perverted and disgusting. So, Well,
that sounds like a shitty superhero right there.
Yeah, you need to check it out. Digitizer on Teletext was brilliant. It was the only reason to go on it. But there you go.
Nice.
That's Bamboozle. There you go. Faceless BW, a quizmaster whose bizarre parody of Bamboozle of Bamboozle. So he often appeared to be nude in 8-bit.
Yellow, wasn't he?
Yeah, but in Digitizer they made a piss take who was nude.
Right.
Mm.
I remember scanning Bamboozle and there was joke pages on there as well.
Mm.
There was also used to get the Sports 392, I think it was. God, I still remember. I'm going to have to Google that now. Once if I just Google page 392, what am I going to get with?
But do look up Digitizer. Digitizer 2000, it's on now. Digitizer2000.com. And also look up Mr. Biffo. And trust me, you will not believe some of the stuff that they used to get away with because they thought no one was watching.
Well, the thing is, the parents would let the children go on to that and they're going to be reading jokes, and then they'd go off and leave them to it.
Yeah, and sure enough, there was there was the man with the chin who was basically a toilet roll with a pair of hands, and he didn't save someone from freezing to death in the toilet. Yeah.
Wow. That's dark.
It's great. It's really good. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Do you reckon we missed that now? Or is it good that it's gone? Like CFAX and stuff like that.
The problem is, you can. There's nothing you can get on there that you can't just get on the internet, is there? The internet is basically a really jazzed up version of CFAX.
And I mean, in the case of something like the Digitizer on Teletext, if that went live now, there would be a 200 million person campaign to have it banned. immediately, and by 100,000 judgmental people on Twitter saying ban this sick filth.
None of whom actually watched it, just heard about it. So obviously, bandwagon her.
Yeah, it's turned into a creepypasta now, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. What the internet's done is brought us all together. But what it's also done in some ways is stifled our creativity by turning the whole thing into essentially one big judgment machine.
Yeah,
and you won't get things like Charlie Brooker sort of talking the shit about video games on the back of CMVG anymore. You wouldn't get that. You wouldn't get this digitized. You wouldn't get things like that because, okay, sure, some of them are near knuckle, and really some of them you shouldn't have been showing your kids. But the fact of the matter is, because kids were watching this shit and kids were reading this stuff, you've got the comedians and the people, the humorists that you've got today. But, if that happened now, there'd be 100,000 mothers against Paul Rose, bang, it'd be, or something like that. And it would just be, everything kind of would just collapse and it stifles that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is probably the worst bit about the internet in general.
Yeah. Did anyone know, or did anyone book a holiday from the CFAX?
No.
No.
I know people that sat in their front room with their suitcases packed, looking on CFAX for a holiday.
Really?
And they swore blind that was the best way to do it.
And have you heard from any of them again?
I'm not friends with them anymore.
Oh, okay.
Is that because they're still in a bathtub?
No, they went to Lanzarote real dirt cheap.
No, right.
It worked, but the thought of actually packing your bags and then relying on CFAX to give you a holiday, I don't know.
I mean, it always just seemed like something other people would do. I just, no, not really my thing.
No.
But then, by the time I started booking holidays, the internet had been well and truly firmly established. So, really, I never got into that whole thing at all.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that anyone wants to touch on before we finish off on this subject?
I'll make one observation. Without the internet, none of us would be friends.
This is
we wouldn't know each other. There's no way that we would know each other even existed without the internet.
Friends is a loose word.
Associates, then. Well-wishers, in that we wish each other no particular harm.
Members circulating within a certain social strata. How about yeah, I mean, that's very true, though. I mean, the funniest one was, in fact, Andy and me, because when the internet was kind of still in its sort of early days and forums were a big thing, it's like I was on a 3D forum and Andy was on the same forum, and we kind of occasionally chatted. It wasn't anything major, but then all of a sudden it's like when the Black Dog had its first shindig and he turned up, and it's like, hold on, I've known you for nearly 10 years, but I've never actually talked to you in person.
We've never had an interaction before, and yet here I am. Because that's creepy at all.
That was just no, but it was really, really bizarre, wasn't it? It was just like suddenly going from, oh, so you listen to this, and I used to talk on the same forum as you, and yet somehow we both know each other from two totally different places. It's like, wow, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless, of course, you're a stalker, in which case, get off my lawn and I'm calling the police.
Both possible? Let's go with the latter.
Is that you standing on my lawn?
Well, I hope not.
Tap on his window.
Hang on, I've got to light this bag of shit.
Nice.
But yeah, my point is it's the one thing I'll say. Without the internet, many of my dearest friends I would never have met or even known existed, just because you had a much smaller circle of friends and interaction. You had people you grew up with, people you worked with, and people you met down a pub. That was kind of it.
Yeah, it's broadened the horizons now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of people I've been exposed to on the internet who I wish I'd never had any exposure to. But yeah, he takes your money, he takes your chance.
Exactly. Dave, is there anything else you'd like to add on to this subject?
No, I mean, other than to add upon what Andy said, like without the internet, I wouldn't have met my girlfriend. So
Way cool.
So the internet's responsible for that.
Nice.
Yeah, you need
all the silliness that sprung from that.
I was going to say, you need to sound a little bit more enthusiastic, Dave. Yes, I found my girlfriend.
It's one the thing is, I mean, like when it's like we first got together and people would sort of say, "Oh, how did you meet?" And so we'd almost shy away from saying, "Oh, so through the internet," because it sort of seemed as a bit of a weird thing. You'd meet a life partner in that fashion, whereas sort of obviously these days it's much less rare.
Definitely.
But yeah, we always sort of kind of sheepishly confessed it in a way.
Yeah.
Well, we have family friends that just use the internet now.
Yeah.
That's all. They don't go down the pub and work on relationships in that sort of way. It's more a case of, okay, right, you match this sort of quota that I've got in my head or I've typed down, and okay, let's go with that. And they all seem very happy with it. So I think it's just a case of progression, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the hardest thing to do is try and explain it to someone who doesn't use the internet. I think that's the one thing. You get your parents and that kind of thing sort of going. So you're meeting someone you've never met before, and it's like, yeah, but I've been talking to them for years and years and years and years. And they're like, yeah, but they could be anyone. You're like, yeah, but they're not, because I know they are not, because I know people who know people. It's like friends of friends, and it's like they just don't understand it. It's just terrifying to them that I would go to, I don't know, Bristol and meet Rob for the first time, or that sort of thing. Or in the case of like my first ever internet friends was Christian and Martin who are animators who used to. It was really funny. Used to talk to them on this forum, and then all of a sudden it was like one day they revealed that they were animators, and I said, "Oh well, I'm an animator. I do 3D," and they said, "Oh, where do you work?" And I said, "Cartoon Network." Blah, blah, blah. And they went, "Okay, well, where is that then?" And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of Great Marlborough Street." And they're like, "We're in Poland Street, and if you look out your window, we can wave to each other." It's like, fuck. And I just did. It was like literally waving across the street at each other. And it was like, okay, do you want to go for a beer? Yep. And it was like, it's bizarre, but actually amazing. So, yeah.
Cool. In the chat room, Doreen has said, without the internet, podcasts would have been on DVDs and CDs or something. I have thought of burning some episodes onto a CD and just leave them on random buses. I think I might do that. Next time I'm down in London, I think I might do that.
Jack Woodgate says his mum still thinks he's going to be murdered or join some sinister cult whenever he tells her meeting up some guys down on the internet. I hate to break this to you, Jack, but you are part of a sinister cult. It's called the Black Dog.
Yeah. We have you, man. Yeah. That's it. It's done now. But no, I was going to say something that Doreen just said there. But so in the old days, did no one ever do pen pals or ever meet up with their pen pals? Did you ever have pen pals?
No.
I think I had some for a while, sort of like school-based things. They'd sort you out with pen pals from sort of other countries or something, or people from the opposite end of the country. You write to them for a bit, and then you just kind of go. Because you've been set up with a pen pal that you wouldn't necessarily share interests with them, so it's just sort of like, well, this is my day. I did a thing, and I read a book, and I went out, and then and there'd be no sort of feeling of. It's not like there's sort of great sort of romantic stories of letter writing from. Yeah. Like I'm sat at some sort of like a sort of 17th century writing desk with a
doing your
quill.
Samuel Pepys thing, eh?
Yeah.
Dearest Diary, the most curious thing happened today. I ventured out to Tesco's, and what was I presented with? Only eggs for 37 pence. Yeah.
Rumblers was doing a sale, and B-Jam had all his frozen food in it.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, the one thing we were saying about sharing your discs and stuff like that was, in the back of games magazines, there used to be like a sharing thing that you could write off to, like it's called like public domain discs, and share and enjoy was the other one, and and all these other people, and you used to be able to sort of trade games via these kind of nefarious sort of back routes using jiffy bags and the postal service. And I always remember used to Saturday morning used to get a jiffy bag from the people you used to swap things with, and you'd get like a bunch of discs which have obviously got like sort of taped over things. And I always remember, and maybe this is probably where I bow out at this point, but I always remember putting in one disc, and then my Amiga was chugging away, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Saturday morning, I'm sitting there in my dressing gown. It went chick, 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 and it went quiet. And then the music went, welcome to Strip Poker 3. And I was like, whoa! Yeah. But that whole thing, that whole swapping scene was like, that was as close to what I thought the internet was back in the day. Because it was like whole thing of going on a bulletin board and just saying, hi, I would like to sign up, and this is my address. And you'd be, oh, right, okay.
Sometimes them games would actually end up on the cover disc of the magazine as well.
Yeah, that's it. There'll be loads of cover discs just being ripped off and people just copying stuff on and swapping them around.
Yeah.
I always remember an episode of Tomorrow's World which said at some point in the future we'll be able to order items and stuff like that from the comfort of our own home. And I distinctly remember scoffing at the notion, thinking that was stupid. Shows what I know.
Yeah, they had a self-parking car by Volkswagen. And I remember scoffing at that, going, oh, give over. Who's ever going to need that? It was brilliant because it pulled up to this thing and just, its wheels went at peculiar angles just to wiggle its way into this very small box. It was brilliant. But I never thought it'd ever be out there.
Well, in fairness, it still doesn't work. You need a very large space and some very patient people behind you.
Yeah.
Waiting for the car to slowly make its way in. But yeah, there you go.
Okay. I feel like we've reached the end now.
Okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. We've only got 6 minutes left, so if there's anything you want to say it now or forever. Hold your peace.
I want to go to the 80s.
Right, okay. Thank you everyone for listening to us talk and whittle on and nostalgia. Is that the correct term for that?
Let's say yes.
Yes.
I nostalgia. You nostalgia. We all nostalgia.
We nostalged. Yeah. Oh God, that's a horrible word. Yes, we were reminiscing on the stuff from days of yore. Thank you to Dave.
Thank you.
I'm going around this magical table in front of me. Andy's in the middle. Thank you, Andy.
Hi, you're welcome, Elton.
And Lee.
Yay! Hello. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
No, it's at the end now. We're not starting again. Do you guys want to plug your stuff, please?
Okay.
Starting with Dave.
Certainly, you can find my stuff on geekplanetonline.com. My main two shows are Tangential Deviation, which is a chat show with as a random element to the chat, and Twice as Bright, Half as Long, which is a show looking back over shows that didn't last longer than 2 seasons. Currently in the middle of covering Twin Peaks.
Nice.
Excellent. Andy?
Yeah, you can hear me with Mr. Medcalf and His Holiness the Reverend Organ on Space Dock Jury, which is at spacedock.geekplanetonline.com, where we have a very informed and intelligent discussion about which spaceships would win in an imaginary game of Tom Trups that we totally don't make up the rules as we're going for. And you can also hear me with Elton talking about Formula One stuff, but he'll have to tell you the details because I don't know them. I wasn't paying attention in the meeting, I'm afraid.
And Lee, is there anything you'd like to divulge?
Yeah, there's a Black Dog podcast with me and Elton and Jim and Darren, and basically anyone else who decides to come on to defend terrible films. And you can find that on blackdog.geekplanetonline.com, and you can also find it on iTunes, and our Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast.
Sweet. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone in the chat room. It has been a blast. It's been amazing.
Yep.
I don't know how many comments have been on there, but it's been brilliant. So thank you very much for everyone who's joined in there. Still means you still have to download it. I don't care if you don't listen to it. You still have to download it. That's okay. I can't.
So you've entered into a binding contract.
Yes, I can't reiterate that enough. That still has to happen.
And also, ideally, copy it to a cassette tape and go and give it to random people on the bus.
Yes. I will do that one day. I think I will do that.
Why not? Just do it. Just do it.
Okay, well, I'm going to go buy some blank CDs and just write on there, listen to me, or play me.
Cassettes, mate.
Yeah, go hipsters.
Okay, cassettes.
But you know what? It's going to end up, people are just going to be caught saying it's like something like The Ring. You know, it's going to be, you listen to this and you die in 7 days.
And then the telephone rings.
Yeah, exactly. You'll hear it. It'll be like, you'll die in 7 days.
Don't give him ideas. Please don't give him ideas. Anyway, if you've enjoyed us whittling on, please visit rogue2.com, which is where all the podcasts are hosted. The one that me and Andy does, which is grandprixpodcast.com. There's a little video coming out very soon as I get all the legal negotiations out the way.
It's got to sort it out with Bernie.
Yeah, I'll work with Bernie, and then hopefully he'll let me put that up on YouTube. We never know. Also, there's a Patreon. We do have a Patreon. I know everyone else has a Patreon. That's fine. But we have a Patreon as well. Otherwise, my kids won't be able to eat food because we won't have anything on the table for them to eat. That is at patreon.com/RogueTwoMedia. Please pop along there. Consider helping us out. It's up to you. That's it, I suppose. So thank you very much for everyone who's joined us, listened to us, downloaded us. Please spread the word and listen to all the other podcasts that have been related to you on here. So until next time, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.